It is now October, which means another mythical Pokemon is now available. Say hello to Keldeo. Keldeo will be available from October 1st through the 24th, and fortunately for everyone, it is a Nintendo Network download, so it's pretty simple to get. As for the other information, you can go and watch Keldeo's movie on the Pokemon website. You can get the TCG pack, a plush figure toy, and it comes with Aqua Jet, Leer, Double Kick, okay, it comes with crap moves, but we are going to be doing a moveset guide later so we can go and figure out how to make the most out of Keldeo. Also, guys, we're getting near the end of this promotional event. Next month, boom, Genesect. After that, boom, Meloetta. Done. So let's go and see what we have for Keldeo once we hop inside our Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire X or Y version. So it's your standard mystery gift fair right now. All you need to do is mystery gift and then go through the thing. You want to go via the internet, so receive gift. Open that up via the internet, wait for all that stuff to happen, just give it some time, and then Keldeo will appear. So this is actually going to be really interesting because Keldeo does have Secret Sword, which is a tutor move, which means we're going to have to do some other things to unlock Keldeo's full potential. So you can pick up the gift in any Pokemon Center, and I recommend going to Mauville City for the Pokemon Center because that is where the tutor is located. So go to a Pokemon Center, talk to the delivery girl, and then go and pick up your Keldeo. Now, like I said, I'm already in Mauville City, so if you want to get to the tutor, it is not that difficult. All you need to do is exit the Pokemon Center, make a left over here, and then head down through the side, and then we will head down once again, and then we just head in here. So ignore the feels of the game corner being gone, head inside here, and then talk to this guy. This guy will tutor, so he works for the Move Academy in the city, and then he's doing things, he's drinking fresh water, and then he wants to teach my Pokemon a move. So Keldeo, let's go and actually add the bottom screen now that I'm thinking about it. So Keldeo will be one of the Pokemon that he will tutor. And also Keldeo comes with an item. I wasn't paying attention as to what item it is. Keldeo, item, take, PB Max. Oh, snap, that's actually pretty awesome. Now, fortunately, you don't really have to make a tough decision. Any one of these is an easily forgettable move, but that is how you go and get Secret Sword for your Keldeo in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. As for getting Secret Sword in X and Y, all you have to do is go to Snowbelle City and then go into the highlighted building right behind the Pokemon Center and then talk to the Ace Trainer that you see immediately when you walk in. Have Keldeo in your party, teach a Secret Sword, and then you are good to go. Also, Keldeo will change form when you give it Secret Sword, which just kind of shows that it has Secret Sword over not having Secret Sword. So that's how you get the Resolute form. That's really all it takes, is just the move, which means when we go over to the competitive side of Keldeo for the Keldeo moveset, we're not going to be using regular Keldeo pretty much ever. Unless you're not using Secret Sword, you're not going to see regular Keldeo. So for Keldeo, its stats are actually insane. I mean, look at this. We have almost nothing on the attack, which means all of the other stats get poured into really good stuff. 90 on the hit points and the defenses is actually fairly tanky. Even without investment, you're still going to be a relatively 2-3 hit KO Pokemon against not super strong Pokemon, and you even have a chance of surviving super effective hits or strong hits that would knock out an ordinary Pokemon. So you have survivability, which is kind of scary, and then 129 special attack and 108 base speed. So you're outspeeding all the 100 base speed Pokemon, you're outspeeding all the 105 base speed Pokemon, and then you still have a 129 special attack, which is really powerful. So you get to do all kinds of crazy stuff with a Keldeo. However, mythical Pokemon, so it is not allowed in every format, and you're pretty much not going to use it that often unless you go to the free battle spot, in which case it's actually going to do pretty well. So there's a couple things you can do for Keldeo: Life Orb for the max amount of damage, or you can go all out and just be like, yo, Choice Specs, mad damage, good to go from there. Keldeo's only ability is Justified, and then the moveset is actually pretty easy. Tutor move, TM, Hydro Pump is going to be from like level 60 something, which you get your Keldeo at level 100, so that doesn't matter. And then Secret Sword, Tutor move. So not really too difficult to get the optimal moveset on Keldeo, and this is pretty much all that Keldeo is good for, because I mean, with Secret Sword, 85 base power is good enough. You don't really have to worry about the Focus Blast. The accuracy on Focus Blast is really sketchy, and also Secret Sword does base off of defense, which means it will melt Pokemon like Chansey and Blissey, or any kind of Pokemon that doesn't have good defenses, which kind of works out since you're using a lot of special attacks, which is why you might want to Life Orb. But if you're using Choice Specs, you have absurd amounts of damage. Also, you can Choice Scarf the Keldeo. Scarf, you pretty much want to do the same thing. Timid nature, but with this, you're going to be looking to just out-Scarf Landorus and then one-shot it off a Scald. Still get good damage onto Scarf Garchomp, or just two-shotting anything because you have pretty mad damage regardless. And then the other thing you can do with Keldeo is run Calm Mind. Calm Mind is a scary move on Keldeo because, hey, +1 special attack. That's 50% more special attack. So it's the same as a Choice Specs, except then you get the freedom of choosing a move. So with Choice Specs or Life Orb, you're going to be able to take that extra hit and then try to put out more damage. With a Calm Mind, you're giving up that extra hit to pretty much just buff yourself up, have more damage and more freedom, which means you can run a Citrus Berry. Take the damage, pump back up over half your health, and then you're good to go. Also, if you're going up against a special attacker, you can Calm Mind twice, and now you're certainly going to one-shot everything. Scald, don't need to worry about the accuracy on Hydro Pump. Also, if you get a Scald Burn while you're Calm Minding the opponent, it's going to pretty much be over since they will not be able to damage you too often, which means you can do like a weird mix-up on the set. You know, you don't have to go full special attack investment. You can go some into the hit points, become a little bulkier, and then you're going to get the most out of it because of that. Also, you do not want hit points that are divisible by 4 because then that means you won't be able to substitute if you are running this set. So sub is another thing that you can do. Pretty much, if your opponent's going for setup, you get a free sub, and then you destroy them, and then you set up Calm Minds, and then you Scald Secret Sword, or you can hide behind your sub, burn them, have them do even less damage to you, and then it's going to be pretty insane. If you're running the substitute, then that means you are going to want the leftovers, because as you're behind leftovers, you'll maybe be able to edge out another substitute or 2 worth of health out of the leftovers, instead of the one time from the Citrus Berry. Now, if you aren't running Substitute, then Citrus Berry with the Icy Wind is also a really good option. Icy Wind is just better than having to reroll for a million times in soft resets and hope you get a good Hidden Power Ice. Now, it is 5 less damage and 5% less accuracy, but if you do end up with a good Hidden Power off your first couple of decent Keldeos, then you might as well run with that as well. It's just more damage options, because once you Calm Mind into stuff, you kind of win after that, which is why we're going to go and check out the other things about Keldeo right now. So obtaining the moves, pretty easy. Like I said, we start off with pretty bad moves, but boom, Hydro Pump. So all you need right here is 1 Heart Scale for the Hydro Pump. You need the Scald TM, which a lot of people should have if they're trying to be competitive, and then a couple of battle points, that way you get Icy Wind, boom, Secret Sword, and now your Keldeo is done just like that, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire will be the easiest to get the Icy Wind. After that, though, we will have to go and look at some damage calculations, because Keldeo has insane amounts of damage. So right here, we have Landorus with that Choice Scarf. So I mean, if we're running Timid Choice Scarf, we're outspeeding the Landorus, and then we are one-shotting it with the Scald. We're also two-shotting a Scarf Chomp. So let's go bring up Garchomp and Choice Scarf. So yeah, Icy Wind is still going to be really respectable damage onto the Garchomp. You know, if you crit, that's actually going to be a KO off of a crit onto the Garchomp, which is pretty scary to think about. And then looking at our natural bulk, Garchomp uses Earthquake while our Icy Wind outspeeds it and does more damage. And then we still have a decent amount of health afterwards. So that's why the Scarf is a decent option on the Keldeo. But if we are just going mad specs or we have +1 on the Calm Mind, our damage is absolutely nutty. So, for example, I took a Greninja. Now, I took away its water typing just to show we can neutrally one-shot a Greninja with Scald under that Choice Specs or any kind of like +1. So just say we have like no item because it's Citrus Berry, and then special attack is at the +1, it's the same damage. Or if it's still a dark type Pokemon, that is the Secret Sword. Now, Greninja doesn't really have much favorable matchup for the Keldeo, but just kind of showing like, okay, 72 base hit point Pokemon with a 71 base special defense. Anything around that range is going to be super easy to KO, even with something like Scald. Also, the Secret Sword is really nice coverage on the Keldeo. And if you just need to know, you know, Mega Kangaskhan, that is going to be a one-shot as well on the Secret Sword, so you don't have to worry about that too much. And other Pokemon, like, let's just take Alakazam. Alakazam is an interesting Pokemon when you look at it, because it has 95 special defense, so really high special defense. Hydro Pump still one-shots it, and that's without an item on that +1. So let's see what it is at +0 with a Life Orb. If I can go and find Life Orb in a reasonable amount of time. I mean, still very high chance, 81% chance to KO the Alakazam off of the Hydro Pump if you are running the Life Orb set. That way you can switch up your moves and stuff. So Keldeo has power. Like, the 129 special attack does put in a lot of work, and we do have the gift of having high base power moves like Hydro Pump, and then really good coverage off the Secret Sword and the Scald. And even then, like, Secret Sword does good damage because of the defense calculation instead of the special defense calculation. And then last up, do want to bring up the type coverage checker for Keldeo. So we have water for like Scald, and then Secret Sword, and then Hidden Power, Ice, or Icy Wind in this situation. I mean, look at that. Only 13 Pokemon, not very effective. Whatever is typed with water and resist our Secret Sword. Now, we won't be able to KO a Shedinja because we don't have anything that hits it super effective. But take off the Icy Wind, and it's kind of insane. Like, we still do pretty well, but now we don't have anything like super effective against the grass and the flying and whatnot, so it gets a little complicated. But yeah, like that's a lot of normal effective and super effective hits, and then the Icy Wind just kind of polishes everything up, and yo, Keldeo, it hits hard, has good coverage, good tankiness. It's just an insane Pokemon overall, and that's what we're talking about right here. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Also, I forgot to check out what item is actually on Keldeo, because I thought it was going to show what it was right here on the page, but obviously it doesn't. So Keldeo item, take PP Max. Oh snap, that's actually pretty awesome. So yeah, you also get a PP Max with the Keldeo, and I think that's everything. So if you guys enjoyed the video, a big comprehensive Keldeo guide, get Secret Sword, learn how to use it in battle, and all kinds of other fun stuff, because it's a terrifying Pokemon. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.